Hello. Today we'll be reviewing how to enter and update deliverables into the BJA Training and Technical Assistance Reporting Portal, also known as the BJA TTARP. What are deliverables? Deliverables are the action your organization completes to fulfill the objectives outlined in your grant award. Specifically, deliverables are tangible, reusable artifacts that can be referenced and used by others, such as a document, tool, training curriculum, newsletter, webpage, or system. BJA uses aggregated deliverable data to identify needs and trends in the criminal justice field. This data includes audiences served and topics or subject matter needs of the deliverables provided. Deliverable information is also used by BJA managers to ensure that grant activities are progressing on track and to identify where additional support may be needed. Deliverables should be identified in the TTARP during the planning stages and then updated through the progression of the activity as necessary. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how to enter and update a deliverable in our staging site on the BJA TTARP. This is the page you'll see when you first log on to the website. To enter a deliverable, you'll navigate over to the TTA reporting portal. From here, there are a couple of different ways to add a deliverable. We're going to add it today through the funding records page. If you scroll to the bottom here, you'll see all of the awards that are associated with your organization. To add a new deliverable, press the plus sign here over the DLV text. This will take you to the form that you need to enter to submit your deliverable. The first thing you'll need to do is to enter the status of your deliverable. You'll see a couple of options here. You can select the pending option if you're still in the planning stages of your activity and that if it has not actually begun yet. Active means that the deliverable activity is underway. We'll go ahead and select active for this example. You'll then need to choose a deliverable title that is unique and can be specifically identified to this deliverable. In this instance, let's say we're creating a training curriculum. So we'll say curriculum A. And then I'm just going to add the reporting period here to identify it. You'll need to select the type of deliverable. We just said that we were doing a curriculum, so I'll select that here. The point of contact is the person who's responsible for it. So I'm going to select our test account. And then each deliverable you enter must be related to an existing objective reference for your award. So here I'll go ahead and select this one. If it's not related to an existing objective and you need to create a new one, you can select this Create Objective button. You'll notice here that for some fields, there's an asterisk or a star, and for some there's not. The fields with a star are the required fields, and they must be entered before saving or continuing through to complete the form. Here, for a TTA reference, if this deliverable was specifically related to a TTA, you could select that here. Ours is not, so we'll leave this blank. Here you'll write a couple of sentences describing your deliverable. You'll enter the start date, which is when the planning first began for your deliverable. So let's say for us, it started on June 1st. And then you'll enter an anticipated completion date. This is when you think that your activity will end. If you need to come back later and change it, if your activity takes longer than you originally planned, you can come back in and enter it. Once you're done with the activity, you'll have a chance to come back in and complete it and change the actual completion date. Down here, you'll enter any deliverable partners if anyone assisted you in providing this deliverable, and then whether the deliverable will be available in any other language other than English. These two are optional in case your deliverable is in support of maintaining or implementing an evidence-based program or in response to an emerging public safety need. You'll enter whether the deliverable is publicly available and whether it contains the BJA logo. You have the option here if you want to, once your deliverable is complete, to actually attach the upload to your form. Clicking the Save button will save the information on this form so that you can return to it at a later time. Clicking the Save and Continue button will progress through the different general areas of the form. If you see up here, these buttons here represent the different sections, and you can navigate through the form this way as well. If you do not complete all of the required fields, you will not be able to save your form or save and continue to complete the other sections of the report. On this page, we'll go ahead and update the information about our target audience and then the program area that our deliverable is related to. We'll click the subtopics, and here we have the option to select other or enter any information about special populations. Once we save and continue, our next step will be for the complete deliverable and performance metrics page. You'll see here that everything is grayed out and that we're not yet able to enter data. We'll come back later in the training and enter this information when we mark the status of our deliverable as complete. The next step is to select to either save your deliverable or to submit it. You can save your deliverable if it's still in the draft phase and you wish to come back and edit it later. However, we recommend that you click the submit button. It makes it easier to find on your deliverable inventory or your funding records and ensures that it will show up on your semi-annual grant reports. So once you've reviewed the information here and it looks correct, we're going to go ahead and click submit. Once we do so, it'll take us to the deliverable inventory page on the TTA reporting portal. Here we can see where it's updated the information that we've just entered into the portal. If we had not clicked that submit button and had only clicked save, we would have to click this unsubmitted deliverable button to locate the activity. Let's say a couple of weeks have passed and we want to come back in and update the status of our deliverable from active to complete. There are a couple of ways to do this, but today I'll be demonstrating how to do it through the deliverable inventory. So you'll come here to the deliverable inventory and it will display all of the deliverables associated with your award, with your organization's award. You'll find the deliverable you wish to update and then click this pencil button to edit it. When we click this button, it will take us to the same form that we saw when we were initially completing our form. Please note that you cannot change the status of your deliverable to complete from any other field except for the complete deliverable or performance metric page. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead to navigate to that page now. And from there, we'll see the same status of deliverable dropdown, but we'll be able to change the status to completed. Once we do so, you'll notice that these fields are now available for us to type in. We'll go ahead and we'll write the actual completion date of the activity. Let's say it was the end of June. And then we'll fill out our performance metric data. So we'll say that we distributed one curriculum, it was new, and then you have the option to provide a performance metric narrative to give additional detail about the activity that you completed. Lastly, you'll enter the number of agencies served through the creation of this curriculum. Clicking save and continue will once again take you to the save or submit page. We'll review the information that we just entered, and if it looks okay, we'll go ahead and click submit. This will once again take us to the deliverable inventory page where we can verify that the deliverable status changed from active to complete. You can see that here. If you have any questions or like additional support on navigating the BJA TTARP, there are several different resources available. You can visit the BJA TTARP interest group on our website, or you can email or call the BJA NTAC team at the email address or phone number listed below. You also have the option to schedule a coaching session with a member of our data team to go over any issues you may have or to set up a training for you or your organization. Thank you for joining us today.